Alrighty, so it is December 1st, and therefore it means I am ready to crack open the Exit the Game Advent Calendar. The Silent Storm. Now, if you don't know this game series, they generally tend to have you destroy the pieces and use a whole lot of other things in it. So as such, I've brought scissors for any cutting, pencils and pen for any marking, or pencil and pen, a flashlight, but that's mainly just to show off anything to the camera that may be needed, and paper for note-taking. Now, this is my first time getting a really good look at the box. And if I had to guess here, sorry for the reflection on the exit, this looks Christmas themed. You can see all the holly on top here. There's a rocking horse, gift wrap presents. Sorry, it's a little bright. That's all that I can do about it. But yeah, gift wrap presents right there. A rocking horse right there. Plenty of snow, a lot of holly running across it. I'll give you a bit of a close-up here, see if that helps any. Once again, apologies for the light. I'm not exactly a professional here. But yeah, I think this might be Christmas-based. So, ignoring that, I finally get my very first opportunity to look at the back of this box, because a lot of the times it shows you what's in the box, as it should, but sometimes it also provides hints. So here we go. Okay. Well, this is interesting. I apologize for the light being a little bright. As you can see here, we have a few books of Advent calendars, help book and game instructions, one that says stop, so I'm guessing that's a part of the game. Now, one of the corners shows us an example room. Contents: one calendar with 24 doors containing 49 riddle cards, strange items, and additional secret material. One storybook, one help book with 6 pages of instructions, one decoder table, including 3 decoder strips. Okay, so that thing right here would clearly be the decoder table. Here's our help book, and this looks to be our storybook on the end there. Several rooms appear to be, there's the example room, a lot of things that look to be Christmas decorations, a button with 4 holes, the riddle cards, and what almost look like elongated Tetris strips, as well as all these things that I swear to God are Christmas cookies. Okay, well, I was right about Christmas. Here's the story on the back of the box. The Christmas workshop has never been busier. For more than 2 months, you've been working hard, so everything on the 24th will be ready on time. As one of the chief toy makers in the workshop, you have your hands full. No wonder we're working so hard. I'm the chief. You are working hard testing out a particularly beautiful rocking horse, which we saw on the front, when suddenly the snow begins to billow in through the window. Hastily, you close it and notice that a terrible silence has fallen over the workshop. Something is not right. Given how busy we are, no kidding. When you hear all the doors click locked, you feel very alone. It is clear you need to find Santa, but first you have to find a way out of here. Great, so I've been trapped in Santa's workshop. Oh, great, I've been trapped at work. Jesus Christ. Anyway. The Advent Calendar is both an exit game and adventure story. Thus, in order to free yourself from this predicament, you must open a door of the calendar each day. Each door hides a new and exciting riddle, the solution to which will bring you closer and closer to your goal. Only by solving your riddles cleverly will you save Christmas. Now get going. There's lots to do. The stuff on the bottom is just the authors, the people who did the editing, and such, and then all the copyright trademarks. You may have noticed this little bit of yellow right here. This game can only be played once. In order to solve the riddles, it is necessary to mark, fold, and cut out many of the contents. This makes it possible to invent many varied riddles. The paper and cardboard component of this game are recyclable, which means they're at least being friendly about it. Level is beginner, which, trust me, isn't going to mean anything for my skill level. Players 1+, ages 10 and up, playtime 24 days. I haven't mentioned the weird cardboard cutout family that is just beside the bright light there, but yeah. Huh. Well, okay, let's bust this bugger open. Another good reason for scissors. Oh, you can. Apparently, this was damaged in transport. That's what I'm told, and I'm going to believe my friend. I already don't like how many times I see openings on this box. I didn't say this during the introduction video, and I don't know why, but I actually am a rather big fan of this series. I didn't want to get anybody to get the wrong idea, but I actually don't like it. I mean, don't get me wrong, I still thank my friend for bringing this to me, but I do. But I do actually enjoy this series. And I've actually been looking forward to this since they told me about it almost a month ago. Really? Oh well. Okay, so I don't even know if I need to cut this particular piece of tape off. But I'm going to pretend I do anyway. Okay, so we don't need that particular section of the box. Okay, here we go. Yeah. Stop. No entry. Okay. Seriously? I see no other way to get this off. And nothing to see here. Wait, can I put this from the front? Did I mess up? And I see a snowscape on the side of the city box. There's dark blue lines there. I don't know if you can see them, but that'll be useful for a puzzle later. Okay, that is my mistake, game. I can't figure out how to get into you. Oh, I can left. Sorry, with all the tape, it was hard to tell. I guess the other stuff was really just for packaging purposes. God, I wish I had some, I'll seal it back up. Of course, as a matter of fact, I will do that right now. And even though the side does have an aurora on it, it does not, on the other hand, have that cityscape that the other one did. So that is my bad. Okay, unfortunate information I didn't intend to have at the start. I do try to go into these relatively unspoiled, which is the main reason why I tend not to look at the box. So I waited until now to do so. Because the box can hold many a hint. Ah, here we go. Jesus. Well, I ruined some of the nice artwork, but otherwise, yeah, okay. Well, here we go. Here is the plain backing of the storybook. And the front of the storybook, that has 3 gift boxes on it. They are red. I'll continue reading here if you have been instructed to do so, so that's going to stay away for now. The decoder table and the 3 riddle codes and the 3 strips have been put inside of the help book. I apologize this one's running for so long. I don't know when it's going to get started. Just keep skipping ahead. But there's the decoder table. And here is the Advent Calendar Help Book and Instruction Guide. It says, attention! Don't examine the game materials yet. The storybook, the decoder table, the pictures, etc. First, read the game instructions and follow the instructions you are given. At the back of this book, you will find the help section. You won't need it until later in the game. Okay, so it says don't look at anything, just immediately start reading. Given how these are done notepad style, yeah. Can you save Christmas? Turns out they have 3 of these things. The mysterious ice cave and the something about a book. I can't really see it, but yeah. Okay, Advent Calendar, The Silent Storm. What is this game about? An earthquake shakes the Christmas workshop, closely followed by a violent blizzard. A short time later, you notice that all the doors are firmly locked. What is happening here? You must go in search of Santa Claus, but to reach him, you face one of 24 challenging riddles every day. The correct solution tells you where to continue on to the next day. Sorry about that. Important, before you start the game, do not take a closer look at any of the game materials and open any of the doors. Wait until the game prompts you to do so in the text. First, read these instructions carefully. Game materials. 1 storybook. Your story is narrated day by day. 1 help book with instructions. You can find help here if you get stuck. 1 decoder table, including 3 decoder strips. Secret additional material for the riddles, hidden behind the 24 doors of the Advent Calendar. Nothing all that special here, but just in case. And if you really want to get a good read on it, that's about the best I can do. Next page. Game setup. Before you can start, you need to prepare the decoder table. Take a pair of scissors and carefully cut the 3 decoder strips shown on the board along the dotted lines. Now thread the 3 decoder strips horizontally through the holes in the decoder table, exactly as shown here. The red one above, blue in the middle, and yellow below. Warning, it is important that you place the strips in exactly that order. Make sure you have not got them mixed up, otherwise you can't solve the riddles. The numbers are now visible through the middle holes on the front of the decoder. On the back, you will see a direction arrow on each decoder strip as well as an exit symbol. The exit symbols will be explained later. Only pay attention to the arrows and exit symbols, which are exactly in the middle. One below the other. The decoder table is now ready for use. Put up the storybook on the table. Additional game materials. You will also need pens, preferably a ballpoint pen, a black waterproof pen, and a pencil. A pair of scissors, a strong light, or a mobile phone with a torch function, and if necessary, paper for notes. You will find everything else you need behind the doors of the Advent Calendar. I wasn't even expecting to actually need the flashlight, but the waterproof pen is a new one. Anyway, here's the pictures. Let's get this set up. Once again, feel free to skip ahead a minute or two. Because, yeah. Well, the good news is, at least the dotted lines are pretty easy to see. Even with my horrible ability to do things, this should work. And, oh, Jesus Christ. Okay. Okay, yeah, that's a lot of symbols and things. God. Okay, well, let's get to work here. Now, for what it's worth, don't expect me to be recording these this early. In fact, if you do actually care about this, you're probably better off checking for 1 days on the previous day. Should warn you, I'm not the sharpest cutter on the planet, so that probably isn't the greatest help, but it shouldn't ruin anything too much. Alrighty, next. Here. Alright, there's number 2 down. And finally, number 3. this point, I will genuinely tell you I have no clue what the arrows are for. As far as the exit symbols go, those are actually fairly simple. In previous versions of this game, the riddle you need to solve is determined by a symbol. A circle, a six-pointed star, a cross, an L shape, a pentagram, a square, a diamond, a crescent moon, whatever. Pretty much all the symbols you see back here. The arrows are new, though. Anyway, let's get this lined up. According to the book, I don't know if this is randomized or not, but they have yellow set to 3. Which I am going to do. I think I did that the wrong way. Yeah, I tried to put it with the strips above, which means the number was pointing out, but I don't think that's right. No, the game book has it the other way too. So I was trying to do it the opposite way of this. Don't worry, the rest of these videos will be a lot shorter, namely because all the prep work will be done. Yes, I know you can't see me prepping it, but that's unfortunately... God damn it, did it again. I don't know why, and I don't know if it matters, but it feels more comfortable that way. And then finally, the red one. Let's do this right this time. Hope you all are having a good day, and this one is defaulting to 5. So there we go. The 2 items are set up exactly as shown. You saw it earlier, you should be good. Okay, I'll leave that there. Where's the game board? In this game, the Advent Calendar itself is the game board. In addition, there is the storybook, and there you'll find out exactly what has happened. You will find an introductory chapter every day that tells the story. Other than that, you have nothing else available to you at the beginning of the game. Solve the riddle step by step. Do the following every day. Carefully separate the current calendar page at the perforated line from the storybook. You can find the date at the top of the relevant page. 2. Read the introductory chapter. 3. Open the next door as soon as you are prompted to do so in the text. There are little thumb hole marks you can push into and pop open, but I shouldn't be looking at that. Behind it, you will find different things to help you solve the riddle of the day. That might be riddle cards and various strange items or objects. 4. Solve the riddle. Usually you can and must use everything that you find in the room or storybook for that day. This is the only way to solve the riddle. Attention. To solve the riddles, you can label, fold, cut up. Everything is allowed and sometimes even necessary. Keep all of the game materials until you have completed the last day of the Advent Calendar. Do not throw anything away. You may have to use it again. Only ever read the current calendar page. Only read the next one when you are ready to start the next riddle. Don't be surprised. How do you know which door to go to next? Don't be surprised that the doors on your calendar aren't numbered. Only the first door is labeled. To find Santa Claus, you find riddles on your way from door to door. The solution to the current riddle shows you where to go the next day. It works like this. The solution to each digital riddle is always a 3-digit code. That's normal for this series, though normally it's a wheel. Usually it's 3-digit code, usually 3 digits. The numeric code found is entered using the 3 decoder strips in the decoder table. Always ensure you have the numbers in the right order. Have you set the code? Then turn the decoder table over carefully without moving the strips. Now look at the back of the decoder table so that you can read the text and the letters are not upside down. you should see 3 different direction arrows in the white area. These 3 direction arrows indicate the 3 direction arrows show you the way to the next door. Your starting point is always your current door. From here, you will follow the arrows from one door to the next. If you have followed all 3 directions exactly, you will arrive at your target door. Next, you check whether it is the right one. Example, the solution to your current riddle is 533. You put this code into the decoder tab and turn it over. On the back, you will find the direction arrows left, upper left, and bottom, down. If your code is correct, you will find the door for the next day. Now you can check whether or not this is the correct door. Note, the arrows never lead you over the edge of the Advent Calendar. Should directional instruction lead you beyond the edge of the Advent Calendar, your solution was probably incorrect. Have you found the correct door? To check this, compare the 3 exit symbols on the target door with the 3 exit symbols on your decoder table. If they do not match, check your directions again. Have you followed them from your current door to the next door exactly? If so, then your solution code is likely to be incorrect. Look at the riddle again. Did you miss something? If you get stuck, don't despair. Take a look at the help book. For every riddle, you will find hints which are there to help you. You can find an explanation of how to use the help system below. Do the exit symbols match? Then you have solved the riddle correctly and you've reached the next door. Write the next day's date in the space on the new door. Tomorrow you will start your next riddle here, but only after you have finished reading the next chapter book. Example, you've solved the first day riddle. You enter the solution code and follow the direction arrows to the decoder table. At the next destination door, you compare the exit symbols on the new door with those on the decoder table. They match, so you put a 2 in the empty area of the target door. There are open doors on this, although it's really weird. I wouldn't have expected it. And not all of them have doors. But whatever. I'll figure that out later. Important. You have to solve the riddles in order. That means you may only continue with the next riddle and open the next door. If you've cracked the previous day's code, then the game allows you to do so in the text. All codes are to be deciphered logically. So it's not just about trying every possible combination on the decoder table. Don't forget to label the next door. It's the only way you'll know where to start the following day. Need help? You get stuck, the game can help you. In the pages after these instructions, you will find that each day has its own help page. You will find 3 pointers that will help you solve the problem. If you would like to use some help, look for the help page with the appropriate date in the help book. Now fold the lower edge of the page so the corresponding marks above it. The respective text should now be visible. Each first clue tells you what you need in order to solve the riddle and gives you an initial useful clue. Second clue will give you more concrete assistance in finding a solution to the riddle, and the solution clue will give you the answer and the correct code for the riddle. Don't be afraid to use help text if you get stuck. Note, all components of this game have been designed and packaged with care. Should the cards and strange items in a room get mixed up, you can find a refill guide for the Advent Calendar at a certain website. This shows you where the individual components belong. It is best for the calendar's contents to be sorted by somebody who is not involved in the game. Then you continue to play the game without spoilers. Please note, the Advent Calendar is full of a variety of riddles so that they all work. Each copy has been assembled individually by hand. Even if this is done extremely carefully and with strict quality control, errors can unfortunately occur. It is unusual, but should you find a missing piece, please contact them at an email address, and we will try to get you back on track as soon as possible. When does the game end? The game ends when you have solved the last riddle and solved the mystery of the Silent Storm. A hint will let you know. We then read the closing chapter in the storybook. The game begins. What are you waiting for? Here we go. Take the storybook, turn to the first page, and start reading the prologue. The first riddle starts on the calendar page marked December 1st. We wish you lots of fun with Exit the Game Advent Calendar, The Silent Storm. So here is the help page looks like for December 1st, and the actual solutions and the hints are on the back side of the page, which is actually a pretty good way to do it. Here is the couple that actually started this stuff. I thank them and I hate them at the same time. Okay, well, prologue and first riddle. But before that, let's at least show you this box. Yeah, it's a thing here. As you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. 24 separate little hole punches for the Advent calendar. And here's where we're starting. Circle, diamond, star. Number 1, just right there. Let's try to get this a little closer here. God damn it. This is why I'm not a professional. Anyway, and there's the number 1 sort of right there for us. The top has a bunch of neat stuff too on it. I'll move my paper and pencils, pencil and pens that you can get. Trust me, they don't often put unnoteworthy stuff on these things. I assume that we're not going to need the chocolate pretzels yet, but everything is a thing. Anyway, here we go. So there's some notes up here. This one says $2 for Alex's birthday collection. What you can't see, and I'll never be able to show you, given how this box goes, is that the number 2 and the A in Alex are actually bolded. You might think this goes against what the game told me, and technically it does, but these are all perfectly visible when you look this way. Next, below it by the Nutcracker, 4th May, party at Benno's house. Once again, the 4 and the B are bolded. Next, up on the top, next in the middle here, 3 days before Christmas, polished dance floor with the word 3 and the letter D capitalized. On the bottom here, keep electricity at level 5. I'll try to get this closer in a minute. Again, the E and 5 are bolded. Over on the corner, house key, check 4 locks with the H and 4 bolded. And then finally, list. 6 cinnamon sticks, 1 bar of chocolate, 3 gingerbread. The 1 and the G are again bolded. This will probably mean something later, and a cute little wind-up frog. Let's see if I can't get that in frame, but honestly, probably not. Sorry folks, this looks to be the best I can do. I don't have a lot of space between the table and where my laptop is posted. Okay. That being said, storybook. Here we go. Room for notes, thank you. Introduction. The harsh ice desert of the South Pole stretches almost infinitely. South Pole? Thought we were Santa, or with Santa's workshop. Nothing but glistening ice crystals and white expanse as far as the eye can see. The whole area is silent, stark, and deserted. Well, actually, not the whole area. There, in the middle of this icy wasteland, stands a single isolated house. Actually, the word house might be misleading because this is probably the strangest building you could ever imagine. It looks like as though it cannot decide whether to be a castle or a factory. Huge half-timbered walls surround the extensive, sprawling site. Spiral staircases wind around crooked towers. Oriels jut out in the craziest of places. Ropes are stretched along the building, along which pulleys rattle up and down. Above all this madness, countless chimneys tower over the building, stretching up into the air in a disorderly manner. A hiker, should he ever get lost in this remote area, would probably stand open-mouthed and stare in amazement at this truly surprising sight. Not least because of the magnificent fir trees that thrive in huge plant pots right in front of the building. Perhaps he would thoughtfully pluck a few icicles from his beard and mutter, "Goodness gracious, how do the trees manage to survive in such biting cold?" But firstly, a hiker would never happen to pass by this particular spot of the South Pole, and secondly, this is no ordinary building. Of course, it could only be Santa Claus's workshop. And, as you know, he has some surprising tricks, with an asterisk, at his disposal. Inside, it's very busy, as to be expected in December. There is a crafting and carpentry, baking and sewing, painting and varnishing, and above it all hangs the delicious scent of oven-fresh gingerbread and cinnamon stars. Hundreds of employees in numerous departments are working hard to ensure all the gifts are ready for the Christmas festivities. And here's where the asterisk comes in. Very few people remember when the Christmas workshops were located in the South Pole, though Santa Claus occasionally still rattles on enthusiastically about the adventures of that time over a cup of hot cocoa. That was the introduction. Neat little picture of cold here. Looks nice. Jesus Christ, this goes on forever. All right, here we go. You are one of those employees. You have been employed here for many years and love this time of year. Everyone is really focused on their jobs, and the zeal and the anticipation is almost palpable. You are working hard at your workbench, carefully making the most wonderful children's toys. You screw together a wooden rocking horse and lovingly smooth out the last splinters with sandpaper. Putting the toy aside, you head to the side table to get a steaming hot cup of tea when rums. RUMMS. A tremendous vibration hits the building. Wrenches, hammers, and nails fall from the bench, banging and clinking together. The ground trembles and seems to roll under your feet. Desperately, you try to hold on to something, but everything falls, sliding and rolling all over the floor. In a panic, you crawl under your workbench and hide your head in your arms. What on earth is happening? In addition to the earthquake, a violent snowstorm suddenly seems to sweep over the building, shaking the wooden planks. How can this be? This morning, there was absolutely nothing to indicate such a change in the weather, and now suddenly huge amounts of snow are falling from the heavens. With sudden realization, you rush across the swaying floor to the window and secure the wooden shutters. You don't know how long it will withstand the massive snow, though. Then you duck back to your workbench, protecting yourself from falling objects as best you can. When the earthquake seems to subside somewhat, you venture out into the hallway where chaos reigns. Your colleagues running around in a mad panic. What has happened? Was that an earthquake? What should we do? That's no normal storm. Fear and helplessness are spreading. Jesus Christ, this is on for 2 more fucking pages. Benno, an older colleague, and I have no idea to pronounce that, Benno. Benno was his name-o. Comes up to you and reminds you that you are the company's safety officer. Oh, Jesus Christ, not again. Gosh, that's correct. You had completely forgotten. I wish I could. Normally, your task consists of showing the others, once a year, where to find the first aid kit, and to train them in what to do in case of a purely theoretical fire. Who could have guessed that there would ever be a situation like this? We have to prevent panic from breaking out here in the corridors. Benno's words tear you from your thoughts. Shall I take the others to the staff room in the basement? It's reasonably safe there. You should look for the boss and find out what's going on here. You nod uneasily and watch, stunned as your colleague shepherds off the staff in the direction of the stairs. As he leaves, he turns to you again. And remember that in a few minutes, the locking mechanism will kick in. Good luck. Luck? You'll need it. You rush back to your workroom and hastily clear the space on your table to spread out the worn plans of the workshop, which I'm guessing is that right there. Yeah, it looks like it. Which is the quickest way to Santa's office? Your gaze wanders over the floor plans. As always, you're amazed at how huge the building is. So many rooms. Suddenly you stop. What did Benno mean by locking mechanism? You muse. The words don't really mean anything to you. Dimly you remember a safety training course where there was talk of emergency situations in which all the doors of the workshop would automatically lock. That's right. And there would be hidden clues in each room with which to open the doors again. It was some kind of safety precaution, and you just had to know how to read the clues. However, as far as you can remember, this complete lockdown has never occurred before. It's quite possible this is just one of the countless stories that colleagues like to tell each other when the nights are long and dark. You lean warily against the wall, partly to ensure you can find a foothold again if the tremors return, but also because you suddenly feel responsibility weighing heavy on your shoulders. It is of the utmost importance that you find out what is happening here. In the end, even Christmas could be at stake. Even if this quake doesn't damage or even destroy the workshop, things will be tight with the delivery of gifts this year. Christmas could be a big disappointment worldwide. You must find Santa. You take a deep breath. In situations such as this, you like to rely on your gut feeling. That tells you, first of all, you should strengthen yourself up so that you are prepared for the challenges ahead. Resolutely, you steer your steps towards the pantry. Are you ready? To continue reading the calendar page 1st December and begin the first riddle. This video is going on for about 35 minutes, so I'm going to break this down into part 1 and part 2. Nothing will move.